I want to get it for you. I want to get you your first set. I feel like breaking your Lego virginity.
That's disgusting.
I want to be the one to do that. It's a very special thing.
What was I watching? I was watching the Mindy Project today. And
Mindy Project?
Mindy Project. Have you ever seen it?
I haven't, but I know she's the girl
so
from
funny.
The Office, right?
Yeah.
Mindy.
And she was, oh man, I have something in my eye. She was talking to her best friend on the phone, and she was like, I don't remember. They were talking about like relationships or something like that. And Mindy was like, I mean, I'd marry you. So, and she was like, I mean, we wouldn't do anything weird or anything like that, but maybe a little kissing.
Gotta have a little kissing in there.
Oh my gosh. I also found the coolest book at Barnes & Noble. I bought it. And as a souvenir, there's something in my eye and I can't get it out.
Do you need a mirror?
No. I'll just do this the whole podcast.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep or no surprise. Sorry. She'll just like sit there and like pretend to sleep, but her eyes will be wide open. And she's like, I slept. I took a nap. And I'm like, that was not napping. Unless you're like a vampire. Or just dead.
Do vampires sleep with their eyes open?
I don't know. But I imagine they would.
Listen.
There's a little.
It's not doing it anymore.
It was a little ASMR for you guys.
It was doing that boop, 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 boop.
Oh, your water, because it was so full, probably. All the bubbles.
So, who's going first this week?
Is yours a 2?
I went.
I can go
Mine
first.
Mine is
or you can go first.
Two-parter.
So why don't you go first so that you can go first next week and finish off with your.
Gotcha. Okay.
Or if you want to go first, it doesn't matter.
Sense. I would go last. You mean?
You're right. Mm-hmm. So I go first.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I have a question for you.
Okay. Hey, real quick, I'm gonna keep
last week. I think.
I'm gonna keep. I went first last week.
Whatever.
Because remember, I was finishing off my 2-parter.
That's right. We're doing a lot of 2-parters. Sorry, guys.
I know. I'm going to keep my phone sound on because my husband is at the store and a lot of times he needs
his handheld
assistance.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Anyway, sorry. What is your question for me? Oh, yeah, this is our podcast. What's with the neighbors?
Let's let that intro roll in.
Whoa.
Okay. That was great.
And back to the show.
Anyways.
And that's Amy.
And that's Brie.
Yeah.
First off, I was going to tell you something. Oh, I packed all my stuff at my work. I had my parents come pick it up with me because I didn't want to lug it all the way through like all those people.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. But we were at the festival and it's downtown. So there's a lot of like homeless people.
Shady.
Yes, that too. But it's downtown, and Alice saw a bunch of homeless people like on this little trail along the river, and because it's shaded, so it's a lot cooler.
Right.
Especially today, it's really hot outside.
Mm-hmm.
And bless her, I love my child so much, and she was like, How do you think the homeless people feel about this? I was like, I don't know. They probably like it. Like, people are probably giving them food.
Yeah, exactly.
And, more people to talk to. There's music. They get to listen to music. And she was like, I think I would be annoyed that people were in my home. And I was like, oh my God, Alice.
The outdoors is my home. Get out.
I was like, maybe.
Also, speaking of homeless, people, the guy in North Pole. If you live here, guys, you know who I'm talking about. The guy who always needs gas.
The gas guy.
Yes, the gas guy who has like
He's not homeless. I guarantee he is not homeless.
I want to know if anyone who is listening and lives in the area has ever had an encounter with this guy, because I want to know what is going on with him.
You could go up to his vehicle and
I'm
read all of his
scared.
signs.
Yeah, is his conspiracy signs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to know what is in this guy's head, and I want to know. I should just go talk to him. We should just go talk to him.
I feel like I want to say like GVA.
Just go bring him a sandwich.
GVEA, our electricity company.
Uh-huh.
I feel like they wronged him. Oh, there it is. Wronged him or
Sick.
something. I can't remember.
Okay.
That people have talked about him in the Facebook groups.
Well, if you guys have had anything, that would count as a hometown horror story.
Yeah.
Because it's also like a conspiracy theory / neighborhood story. So
Sure.
send in your encounters with this guy.
Or
I
if
want
you
to
know
know
what's going on with him.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
his story?
Yeah. Yeah. And we're not like making fun of him. We're just curious.
I've always been so curious.
Yeah.
The first time I saw him, I was like, "Oh man!" And like, my heart like kind of melted a little bit. And then like
The next day he needs gas again.
yeah,
And then the
but,
next day
like,
he needs gas again.
constantly.
Yeah. He's
Like,
always out there needing
but
gas
he's,
with his
like,
gas can.
He's holding his gas can, and there's money in his hand too.
Yeah.
What?
Why don't you go buy
put-
your gas?
Yeah. Why are you holding
So confusing.
like wads of? I don't know. I don't know. So here's my question. It's very easy. Straight to the point. What is as of right now, what is your favorite TV show you were actively watching?
Sabrina.
You're watching Sabrina right
I
now?
literally just finished it this morning, and I'm really mad about it.
Are they the old Sabrina or
No,
the new
no,
Sabrina?
the new one. I loved the old Sabrina as well. I grew up watching that. Loved that show. They also brought in that one, but
Oh. I
yeah,
didn't know
like
that.
another like universe. It was kind of cool.
Okay.
But
Kind of
no,
like Spider-Man?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But it's they ended it because Netflix canceled it evidently, and they left it a cliffhanger. However, I told you last month I was watching Riverdale, and towards the latest seasons of Riverdale, Sabrina, because they're all by Archie Comics, Sabrina comes into there, because they talk about their towns a lot in each other's shows.
What?
Yeah, they both like coincide in the same
That's
universe.
so weird.
So,
Actually, really cool.
yeah, it is. But like this season that is on is beyond what had just ended on Sabrina, because this ended forever ago, I think. And so I have unanswered questions about what she was talking about in Riverdale and why she's even here or alive. I don't know. I'm really glad I watched them both.
So
That's why I watched Sabrina.
The show ended,
But it ended with a major cliffhanger.
but
kind
it
of.
sounds like her life continued.
Yes.
Even though it's
Even though, yeah.
Oh, that's
Spoiler
so
alerts.
weird.
Yeah, it's really good.
I
It's
bet-
so dark though.
So-
Lots of satanic like worshiping, and they say, "Oh, what the heaven,"
What the
instead of
heaven?
"what the hell," because they
Okay.
praise Satan.
Yeah.
Well,
And then
not
so my other question would be are there like comic books?
yeah.
So that's probably why.
So I was reading about why they about them canceling the show. Like apparently it was like one of the biggest shows on Netflix at some point, which is crazy that they canceled it. But they're trying to bring it back. But they were talking about continuing it in the comics instead of on TV until they can bring it back. So I was like looking for it this morning, trying to find out where it's at. 'Cause I was like, I have to know what happens. Oh crap! Hang on. Hello, dear. No, I don't think so. As long as you got everything on the list.
Condoms.
No, we don't need those. Yeah, just like Great Value bread.
Lube.
Diarrhea. Okay, did you get bourbon? Yes. Like where the bikes were is where I saw it. Like in the garden section where the bikes were.
Cucumbers.
Yes.
Bananas.
Yeah, do you know that spot where you can go get like reserved toys or something in the wintertime? It's like a garage door that they open every once in a while.
It's in the garden section.
Yeah, it's in the garden. You'll find it. Okay. All right, sounds good. Another thing of wood? Yes. I can't say no to those. I don't know. But we're recording right now. You're okay. Love you.
Love you.
Bye. All right.
What can't you say no to?
More Lego sets.
Okay.
Because they're on sale.
Yeah.
And so the only reason that I can justify it is because like I've told him like when they've gone on sale, I'm like, no, we're not spending that much money on Legos. But like, and then it goes discontinued or it's sold out for months and months and months and months. And then I feel like crap because I'm like, oh crap.
And then it's discontinued after it's sold out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And those things are worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a really good show. If you haven't watched Sabrina yet, guys, you should get into it. Like I tried to get into it a couple years back.
Yeah.
I can't remember why I didn't. I think it was just really dark and really hard to get into at that point in time, and which is weird because I love dark shows, but it's really dark. Like very much like you feel like a little.
You have to go say a prayer.
You need to go like
afterwards.
do the do like 10 Hail Marys or something. Go make a confession. What about you?
Right now, Rick and I I can't get enough of it. It's on Hulu, and it's called The Righteous Gemstones.
Oh, is that what you were talking about the other day?
Yeah, it's so good.
Still watching it. How many seasons are there?
I don't know. I haven't looked, but we're on season 2.
Nice.
Yeah, it's so good. It's ridiculous.
I like finished this all in 1 week.
Yeah.
And there's like 4 seasons
or
parts.
4 parts.
Yeah.
I would have probably already watched. I mean.
You have to watch it with Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching it like on my phone because I don't like. This is one show that I don't like the girls watching.
So you watch it on your phone.
Yeah.
So it's yeah. That makes sense.
Or nap time if they all nap.
I mean, I would probably watch The Righteous Gemstones without Rick and then just pretend I didn't watch it because I don't mind rewatching shows. I love rewatching shows, but I almost put it on.
Same.
Because today I could put on a show while I was working because no one else is around.
Yeah.
And so that's why I put on Mini Project because it's something I can watch and I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I almost put on The Righteous Gemstones and I was like, no, don't do it.
It's okay.
That guilty conscience.
I know. Same.
Okay. Do you want to hear my neighborhood story?
Yes.
So, Bree, this one is actually from our next door.
Oh, okay.
In our area.
Okay.
But
like our next door website?
Well, everyone has
page.
the next. Yeah.
Right.
Our next door, like in our area.
Right.
But I have actually quite a few.
Sorry.
I have quite a few. And so, oh my gosh, I have quite a few. And so I was like, I'll just use this one for this time instead of using it for the hometown horse. Brie, can we talk about my stolen car first?
Where's your car? That's how I meant to start off this episode.
Dang it!
I meant to start it off like, dude, where's your car? Where's your car, dude? Or where's my car? Guys.
Oh my gosh. So, everyone, I have something to tell you. Thursday evening, my car was stolen.
As you saw, I posted on the group and on the page and in our story and everything. And also thank you guys for those who responded. But I think most of you that responded were freaking scammers. So no, thank you.
Yeah, so my car was stolen, and let me tell you what happened, okay? So,
but let's sit back and just sip this in.
So get comfortable. I got up from home. I was on my lunch. I came back, and I was talking to Brie on the phone.
I knew this was going to be my fault.
It's Brie's fault.
I knew it.
I have to blame somebody.
All right.
So I'm talking to Brie on the phone, and we're just like, blah, 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 like we are. And I went to go in the parking lot for my work, and I pull in next to in between two coworkers, and I almost hit this pole, right? Because I'm like, Amy, in your head, don't hit the pole, right? And then I'm talking to Brie, and it starts downpouring. So I go to work. Also, I'm telling you how it happened in my mind.
In her brain.
Okay. So then I get to work, and I'm like wet, not terribly wet, but I'm still wet. And I get out from work at the end of the day, 3 hours later, and I'm walking to the parking lot, and I'm like, do, and I'm like, where's my car?
Where's your car, dude?
And I'm freaking out. I call Rick. His phone is dead. I call Alice. She's not answering her phone. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I get on we have like little security cameras in our house. So I get on those and I'm like screaming at them. I'm like, call me. This is an emergency. And so Rick ends up calling me through Facebook because he had Facebook on his computer or whatever. And so he's like, I'm like, did you take my car? And he's like, no, why would I take your car? And I was like, it actually makes sense. Like, I was like hoping he was like secretly I was hoping he was like trying to pull a prank on me because he doesn't do that. But also at the same time, I'm like, I need to know if you took my car, right? And he obviously didn't take the car. So
he was surprising you with a brand new one.
Yeah. And so then I called my boss and I'm like, can you get a hold of the person that does the towing for our parking lot? She calls the person. He didn't tow my car. So I'm like, great. Someone freaking stole my car. And so my coworker, Kirsty, she had to go do a spray tan. So I'm like in her car while she's doing a spray tan, and I'm on the phone with the local police, and I'm making a police report, and they're asking me all the questions. Did you park it somewhere else? Did someone break in? No. Everything, They make a police report. I get home and I'm like devastated, right? Like, this is awful. I'm talking to the police officer. He called me. He's like, I'm in charge, I'm assigned to your case, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, you better freaking find my car. Like, I am going to hear from you like in an hour. Of course, I'm joking, right? I'm like, I'll talk to you in an hour when you found my car. And he's like, okay, and then I call our insurance company. And I'm on the phone with them because I need to let them know that somebody stole my car, right? To get that ball rolling. And I'm on the phone and she's like, okay, and what's the case number? And I was like, I turned around. I was like, I'm going to call you back. Turn around, look at Rick, and just start bawling. And I'm like, I think I made a mistake. And Rick's like, did you park it somewhere else? And I said, yeah. Turns out I had Bree drive me all the way back. I parked it in the parking garage because it was downpouring.
Literally, it was right there. Right when we opened the car, she's like, there's my car. Right when it opens.
Not even 100 yards from where I was. Where I thought I was.
Dude, where's your car? Found your car, dude.
So that happened.
So, just so you guys know, we took them down to save Amy from embarrassment. At least it's like, this is like mulled out like a couple weeks in, and people are just going to think back. They're going to be like, I wonder what happened with her car. And then the episode comes out and they're going to be like, oh. So thank you all for your support. Did your mom delete the post that she shared, by the way?
I told her to, and she's like, well, if Bree deleted it, it will delete it from mine.
It should. Yeah. That's right.
So, yeah.
She's so smart.
And all of that, like, somehow one of Rick's friends, probably because he posted it in one of the pages or something, because Rick's friend called him later that night, and he's like, did Amy figure out what happened to her car? And Rick's like, yeah, she just misplaced it.
How do you misplace your car?
I don't know.
I get it, like a Walmart parking lot or something, but
yeah, but
no, it's okay. It happens.
All right, so this is my neighborhood story, and it's from our next door.
Okay.
It says, hi, I'm Mary. I'm tired of the mosquitoes and the heat. And so that's it.
I am as well, Mary. I get
Same,
it.
Mary.
Although we don't have mosquitoes too bad in our yard.
No, because you treat it.
We spray.
Yeah. We did not spray this year.
Yeah, it's pointless.
So,
I like the heat. Bring on the heat.
Oh, no. It's
Bring it
miserable
on.
Alice and I were like sweating outside today. It's 70 degrees.
So nice. I love it.
All right, tell me a spooky story about a ghost.
All right, I got
An
one.
alien.
It's a ghost.
Well, you
Several
did
of
kind
them.
of like aliens-ish.
Yeah, last week.
Yeah.
And the week before that. So this week we got one from the book, straight out of it.
Yay!
This is the McRaven house from Mississippi.
Thinking of That's So Raven. That for some reason, That's So Raven.
What?
I'm thinking of That's So Raven.
Oh. Mississippi.
Oh.
Or, yeah, did you see someone go by?
Yeah, that was weird. Or maybe it was a flurry thing.
It may be
A
a
cotton.
flurry. Okay, I just want to make sure because, you know, my kids are up there.
Yeah. So
All right. What?
did you hear that?
Hear what?
It sounded like someone was like banging upstairs.
It's probably the dog. No, dogs aren't. It might be Robin. She might be playing.
Oh, okay.
She'll chase her tail.
She is that fat.
She is that fat. PHAT, fat. Straight that pose. Okay. Anyway,
Sorry.
so
okay. It's
we're
from
doing
Mississippi.
McRaven house. All right, here we go. The house was first built in 1797.
Oh.
Let's get a quick little history background. When George Washington was president, by the way, by an
I knew
Andrew Glass.
Okay.
So, this was from in the great state, not so state yet, Mississippi. And Andrew Glass was what they used to be called a highwayman.
Oh.
Do you know what that is?
I would think someone that makes highways.
So a highwayman is someone who goes on the highway and like robs and beats and kills travelers.
Wouldn't that be more of like goes on the dirt?
Like a dick. Just a dick. Yeah, to the dirt, the carriages.
The old Oregon Trail.
Yeah. Quick, get the horse. So yeah, he robbed, beat, and killed lots of people.
Dang.
On the Natchez Trace Highway. And by 1797, authorities offered Glass a plot of land in exchange for him to stop the violence. So, like, they didn't put him to jail. They didn't go hang him or anything.
They're like, hey.
They're just like, hey, can you stop, please? We'll give you this. Cool.
That's no, nothing.
That's not how we solve problems.
That's yeah. I almost said
You just
something
gave
political.
him. You just gave. Yeah. All right. So, he took it, and
Sure,
along with
of course
that,
he did.
married a respectable-looking woman to keep up appearances of like looking like a good guy.
And also, he like trade like 2 donkeys for her?
For
or
her
something?
woman. He stole her.
He probably did.
stole her.
He's like,
oh
actually,
my God.
no. They're like, here's the land. If you please stop being naughty. And he's like, I'm gonna still slash tires unless I can have that pretty lady over there.
Give her that pretty lady.
And
That's
they're
so
like,
messed
okay.
up. So he built a 2-room brick home, and it was like a what are they called? Like where it's like a room,
A loft?
Yeah, kind of like a loft. It sounded like it was like a bedroom upstairs, and then like the kitchen was downstairs.
That makes sense. That was very common.
And he used it as a hideout because he was still robbing people.
Of course he was.
Because he was still breaking the law. Because
and so this
no
poor
one
woman is stuck with him now. Too.
Yeah, and no one did anything. Like he was never like. It's the cotton.
Okay.
Anyway, so that is until one day when he messed with the wrong people, and he was
course.
shot in the stomach.
Wow.
And
not surprised.
He was taken back to his home and laid in his bed, and his wife had a temper. She had a pretty good temper,
Good.
and she finished the job by slitting his throat.
I also would have a temper if I was married to him.
Yeah. She paid back the gang that he was going after, and she told them to take his body and hide it, and got off without any kind of penalty and continued to live her life in the home until
Good.
she killed another woman and I guess went to jail. So she went to jail, but he didn't.
I had
It's fine.
such high hopes for her.
I know. Times have changed, guys. Just don't kill people. It's my water softener.
Thank you.
In 1836, Sheriff Stephen and his wife Mary, at just 15 years old, she was 15, bought the home, making it into their forever home. I mean, it was pretty common to marry young and to get pregnant.
Yeah.
They
also didn't live in past 30.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like, this is our midlife. We need to hurry up. I was 9 and I found my true love. They even added a second floor addition, but unfortunately Mary died of childbirth in the home, leaving behind her surviving daughter, Karen, and husband, Stephen.
Oh my gosh.
They moved and sold the property to a John H. Bobb in 1849, who completed the home to what it is now in a Greek revival style. During the Civil War, the home was used as a Confederate hospital and campsite and was hit by many cannon blasts, but still stood.
Whoa, that's some pretty good build.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Things are built differently then, too.
Yeah, that's true.
In 1864, John had noticed a group of 6 drunken Union soldiers, because they still owned it. So he had noticed a group of 6 drunken Union soldiers picking flowers in his garden. This pissed him off, and he ordered them to leave.
That's also adorable,
And
though.
he's like, "That's my garden. I take pride in my garden
They're
because of my
"You
roses.
just wanna look pretty, lady.
I love my roses."
I just want to look pretty. Pick up roses for my lady.
Is that how it went?
Yeah.
That actually was pretty good.
Thank you.
I like the hiccups. So he got pissed off of this and tried to tell them to leave, and they didn't. So he threw a brick at them.
Oh.
And he did hit one of them, knocked one of them to the ground. And so they reported it to their commander, and their commander gave them permission to go and retaliate. So they all ganged up on this guy.
They were on his property.
Yep, exactly. And they took him back, and they killed him. They shot him. The home was then sold in 1869.
I bet that's the last time he tries to stop people from picking his flowers.
I bet it is. Just a thought.
Sorry.
Or maybe not.
Oh.
Get out of my roses. Get off the grass.
Is that how it went?
Yes.
Just like that?
Yes.
It was pretty good.
Thank you. The home was then sold in 1869 and then again in 1882 to William Murray and his wife Ellen as their forever home, where they raised 4 daughters and their sons. I'm not sure how many sons they had. Okay. William died at the house in 1911 and Ellen followed in 1921. And Ida, their daughter, in 1946, and their son in 1950, all at this home. So lots of people have died there. Lots of things have happened at this place.
Constant death.
This place is like, I don't know. The last of the children who resided in the home were daughters Annie and Ella, both never married and had no contact with the outside world other than their doctors.
Oh my gosh.
At 81, they were just like two old ladies like living together with raising their cats and stuff. And
oh my God, I love it.
Not having any business with anyone else.
I bet they had some cows.
I know. I wish I don't know. At 81, Ella passed, leaving behind Annie, who moved into a nursing home.
Aww.
The home was so neglected that neighbors didn't even know that it existed because of like all the overgrown vines. They just, nothing was taken care of or anything.
Wait a second.
And they were older too.
What year was this?
18... Late 18.
Like in the 1800s?
Wait, no. 90s. We're in the 90s now.
Okay. That's
sometime in the 90s.
bananas to me that people didn't know there was a house
I know.
there.
I think it was like in the 1960s, probably.
Can you imagine
1950s,
how
1960s.
dark? Like, first off, great shade.
Oh, yeah, especially in the South.
Yeah.
Mississippi.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. But also, these ladies didn't have, like, electricity still, it sounded like, because they were breaking apart their own furniture for firewood. Like, antique furniture.
No.
Yeah. In 1960, the McRaven house was purchased by O.E. Bradway and restored to be open to the public in 1961, and in 1979, it was put on the National Register. It was sold again for $75,000 in 1979, which is
in today's money,
$328,800.
Oh my Lord! For a 2-bedroom house in the South?
No, it was bigger. It got bigger because there were additions made.
Okay.
Lay your butt down now.
What'd she just say?
Okay, Mom. All right. So yeah, it was sold for that, and then later it was sold to. Let me just start over. It was sold again for $75,000, which is $328,800. Did I say that right?
Mm-hmm.
In today's money, to a Sandra Harvey, who further restored it, costing around $100,000, which is $418,907.
Oh my gosh.
So they put a lot of money into restoring it.
That's a lot of money.
They plastered the walls, the ceiling, redid all the Greek ceiling medallions, and even found someone who could pretty much exactly replicate the old carpet that was in there, the original carpet.
Wow.
Yeah, they had to go to like someone on Georgia and find they looked everywhere and they found someone in Georgia that could do it.
Oh, but what if the carpet was like super ugly?
It probably was for that time.
Probably.
In 1984, the home was sold to a Leyland French who did more restorations and resided in the home and continued to do tours.
Okay.
Okay, so let's get on to the paranormal stuff.
All right. This is what we're here for.
Yes, this is.
Also, I just love history.
Yeah, the history's cool. So, is this home haunted?
Probably.
It seems like it is. With apparently the latest owner who was living there was driven out and decided to live in a home nearby and hire a caretaker to the home, and also hired a priest to perform an exorcism on the home and bless it. So it's probably haunted.
Sounds like it.
That's saying something.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of people have died here. Think about all of the individuals that had lived here, childbirth, people getting shot, all the violence there.
The flower guy.
The hospital for the army.
Yeah.
The flower guy. Poor flower guy.
Poor flower
He just wanted his roses to be nice.
Leave my wife's roses alone.
So, we're going to talk about Mary Elizabeth. She was the young 15-year-old girl that died at childbirth.
Okay.
It's believed that she still resides in the McRaven house and has been known to be quite lively, especially with women, children, and expectant mothers, going as far as gently patting pregnant tummies.
No, I don't like that.
I know. She has appeared in her room, on the stairs, and in the dining room. She has even appeared on tours where children are present and leads them away to play.
Ew, that's so creepy.
I know.
She's like,
I'm like, oh, that's so sweet,
baby.
but no, also don't.
I'm going to kill you.
Don't. So creepy. It's like a little ghost nanny.
Ew, but still.
While
actually, that'd be kind of nice.
Right, just leave me alone. Mary. Mary Elizabeth, come get my children. They're bugging me. This is a drinking tour, damn it. Get my kids out of here. While a lot of the spirits seem positive, there are some dark forces among them, and it's believed that is from Andrew Glass. Okay. Considering his past.
Yeah.
An incident occurred where Mr. French, one of the past owners, was pushed by what felt like a boot on his back when he was leaning over to get something.
Jeez.
By an unseen force, so bad that he had to have stitches.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Brie.
Mr. French and Miss Harvey had their fingers slammed in drawers, and that was suspected to be by Mr. Glass.
Oh my gosh.
The spirit of John Bob has been seen smoking a cigar and walking outside on the veranda, leaving behind a trail of cigar smoke.
I like it. It's innocent.
It's all right.
It's all right.
It's all right. The smell of
Did you hear
roses. Yes, it's probably. That's no one.
What is that? Why didn't you tell me I had this on me?
What's that noise? What is that noise? That's weird.
Is that from outside?
Yeah, I don't know what that noise is.
Creepy.
Okay, so the smell of roses is... You
I'm
okay?
good.
The smell of roses is also smelled in the home, and it's believed to be from Selena Bob, Mr. Bob's wife. And
Because she's the flower girl?
She's the flower girl, yeah. You can smell roses in some of the bedrooms and in some of the areas downstairs.
Aww.
An apparition of a woman wearing a hoop skirt was caught on camera on the second floor veranda, possibly Selena.
Okay.
While a staff member was in John Bob's old dressing area, she looked over and she saw his face smiling right at her.
No.
She wasn't getting dressed or anything, but like they described it as like it was so clear and looked so real that they could count the wrinkles on their forehead.
I don't like that.
Yeah, that's wild.
Just standing there smiling.
Yeah. Hey, what you doing in
What's up?
here? I get dressed in here. Do you want to see me get undressed?
Oh.
The sounds of someone walking with a cane on the second floor have been heard and believed to be from Mr. Murray.
Okay.
Children's spirits peek through the doors and
Aw.
touch people on the back. The staff will put out toys for them to play with and rearrange. One of the children with red hair even tries to play with other living children. In one instance, a little boy on a tour with his mom kept running around the house, and when the mom finally caught up to him, she was like, what are you doing? And he's like, the little redheaded boy wanted to play chase with me, and no one else had seen anyone.
Oh my gosh. I love that.
A tour guide admitted to falling asleep while working one day, sitting straight up, and an unseen force knocked him out of his chair, and no one was around, and they believed it was like the two elderly sisters being like, get back to work. Get back to work. Because it was like, it wasn't mean or malicious. It was innocent, just like waking him up.
Yeah.
They think that they tend to do things as well.
Okay, but also how annoying that you'd be like, this really cool thing happened to me, but I'm gonna have to tell on myself in order to to say it.
So that was the thing. Like whenever I was reading that, it had like this whole explanation beforehand. Like I guess he has the worker. It like works really late nights because his mother is ill or something like that, and so he's always tired when he goes to work. And I'm like, all right, let's get through the pity story. Let's just get through the what happened. You fell asleep. Confederate soldiers have been seen on a display and standing and walking the premises. Lastly, Ella and Annie, the sisters, like to play the piano and seem to enjoy the newly renovations. Sorry.
Oh.
Ella and Annie, the sisters, like to play the piano and seem to enjoy the newly renovations, and it's believed that they help take care of the place and the workers, including nudging someone awake on shift.
Oh.
Other little things that happen are people hear bangs, feel cool breezes go past them. Cabinet doors have been seen opening in Mary Elizabeth's room, whispering in ears, inappropriately touching.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Uncomfortable feelings in certain places, especially with women, and intelligent EVPs and ghost box conversations with paranormal investigators have been caught, and like lots of pictures. So
that's cool.
As of today, the home last sold in 2015 for $1,750,000 to a Stephen and Kendra Reed, and is open to the public for tours.
Oh my gosh.
And that is the McRaven home in Mississippi.
I want to go there.
I know. It sounds really cool. It sounds like you get a lot out of it. Unfortunately, I ran out of time to watch the Ghost Adventures episode. Charlotte doesn't nap as often, and I don't like to watch stuff like that around her. So,
yeah. So
but yeah, go watch it. The Ghost Adventures has been there. Lots of different investigators have been there, but apparently their episode they got a lot of different EVPs and stuff.
Sorry, you're not boring. I'm just really tired.
I'm so boring.
That's so cool.
Thanks.
I want to go there. Thank you.
Let's go Mississippi.
Let's go to Mississippi.
Mississippi.
So my story is a 2-part story.
I am really excited for your story. It better be good.
Oh, it's good.
Oh, let me tell you.
So I actually heard about this story a couple years ago when it kind of surfaced. Again, it like things came out about it like prior, but then it came out. What's wrong?
I smell spearmint gum and I want some gum now.
Oh, I
don't know where it's coming from.
Sorry. And so when it kind of like articles started resurfacing again, I looked into it and I was like, I actually thought it was fake.
Oh.
Like I thought it was a fake story because it was so insane.
Okay.
And bananas. And so there's a new documentary that came out about it, and that I don't want you to watch it until after I'm done with my story.
After you're completely done.
Yeah. So
It's fine.
Is that the neighbors?
I think so.
Oh.
I'm just going to look out there while you're...
Okay. And so my wonderful mother, she's up here helping us move, and she told me about the documentary, and so I was like, wow. So I watched that documentary twice and listened to like 5 different podcasts, and one thing that I like is that everything is the same across the board. Like all the articles, everything I read, it's all the same.
That's so nice.
Which is so nice for
so easy
fact checking.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I can only give you like a sliver of all the information.
Right.
Because there's so much
Such
information.
a big story.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
by the way, Candy is like, what's up, Candy?
They're best friends now.
Yeah. We're like on a texting basis.
I'm
so
surprised.
It's not a big deal. It's fine.
I'm surprised you guys don't have each other's Snapchats.
I just want to put oh my God, she's on Snapchat.
Yeah.
Your mom is so with it.
Yeah.
Candy, you are awesome. All right. Well, I'm adding her on Snapchat now.
Did you see the TikTok that I made and included Josh in it?
No. Oh gosh.
Because I messaged him about the airplane thing.
Oh yeah.
And then
did you like it? It's like you gave her the most Josh answer.
I know. It was
that
fine.
she could ask
I had to
for.
think of like all the men that I like talked to in my life and ask them all the same thing, and then I put it in a TikTok.
You legit got like.
I
he
actually,
kept on
like,
going into
I
it.
had
He's
to,
sitting there
like-
laughing.
I had to delete some of the messages because I'm like,
Just stop it.
you're getting way too into it.
Yep. He's an overthinker.
Yeah. I was like, don't overthink it. And then you texted me and you're like, he's overthinking. And I was like, of course he is. Okay. So I'm going to tell you about this little girl named Natalia Grace.
Okay. That's
All
a pretty name.
Yeah, it is. It's really pretty. So, but first I'm going to tell you about her family. So Michael and Kristen met and fell in love in college. 2 years later, in 1998, they had their first son, Jacob, in Lafayette, Indiana.
Okay.
After 2 years, his parents had him tested, and it turns out that he was diagnosed with a type of autism, specifically Asperger's. Soon after, they got married and had 2 more boys. Christine was pretty busy with juggling all the types of therapies that Jacob was going to, like physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, all of these different things.
Jeez.
I don't know if he went to physical therapy, but so she was doing this, juggling the other 2 boys, and she also ran a home daycare for children with
Much.
disabilities.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Wow.
And Michael was a businessman and a real estate agent. They noticed that Jacob was most content when he was working his mind and learning things. So he spent most of his time doing math. He actually was accepted into Indiana University at the age of 10 years old, Brie. His IQ score was up there with like Einstein.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
that's not super unheard of though.
no, it's not.
Like that movie or that show, The Good Doctor.
Yeah, but that's fake.
Right. But also Big Brother, one of the winners on it, also has autism, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was really smart.
Yeah, like they're normally they're very, very smart.
They just get overwhelmed and
they get overwhelmed, correct. So but he went to the University of Indiana at the age of 10. Students actually initially thought his mom was the student because she had to attend the classes with him, and they were like blown away when they realized that he was actually the student.
Right.
He even developed a new theory of astrophysics, which don't ask me what that is, and was on the path of earning a Nobel Prize.
It's like really smart stuff. That's like Sheldon stuff.
He also even held his own his own TED Talk when he was just a small 12 years old.
That's wild.
I know.
What's his name?
Don't look him up.
Okay, I'm not going to.
Oh, okay. Jacob Barnett.
Okay.
Look him up later because everything about him is going to
show everything.
Yeah.
Spoiler alerts.
Yeah. So, Christine even wrote a book called The Spark, A Mother's Story of Nurturing Genius, which was basically a book about how they helped mold Jacob into the young boy that he was, because she had to get in on that.
Well, I mean,
he was even on 60 Minutes, and he was on Good Morning America. He was on all these shows because he was so stupid smart.
Dang.
Yeah. So, the family ended up getting a grant to help advance and enrich Christine's daycare. The amount is not disclosed. However, Michael was either making a healthy amount of money with his real estate business, or they used that money to help pay for some pretty flashy cars, because he had like a Corvette and some other beautiful cars.
Right.
Jacob, I just told you that. Another thing about Jacob is he earned an award from the Vatican.
Dang.
I know. Pretty cool, huh?
That's a big deal.
So in 2008, the couple decided to start the process of adopting another child. They were unable to have another. They really wanted a girl, but they couldn't try themselves because of medical issues. So they're like, let's adopt.
Okay.
So this process takes about 8 to 12 months. However, in 2010, they found themselves in the process of adopting a young girl from Haiti. But unfortunately, the 2010 earthquake that rocked the nation of Haiti brought the adoption to a complete halt.
Oh.
They were heartbroken, but soon after, they got a call from an agency in Florida stating, "Hey, we heard that you are great with children with disabilities, and we have a 6-year-old girl for you."
Okay.
And they're like, "Whoa, that's crazy." So they said, "You know what? You should come down here and adopt this adorable 6-year-old girl from Ukraine." They're like, "Sweet, we'll think about it." And they're like, No. There's a catch. You have to be down here in the next 24 hours, or she's going to go to a foster home.
Oh.
And they're like, "Oh, okay."
You don't give them any chance to like decide.
Think about it. I don't think that they even thought about it a whole lot, because they're like, "Hey, this is it's a girl with disabilities. We can help her, blah, blah, blah." And we only have 24 hours to decide. So do we take it or not?
Right.
So they were so excited that they headed down to Florida to meet their new little girl. They went to the address that they were given, which ended up being, in this documentary, the dad was like kind of complaining about it. He was like, it is so dingy, and it was a house that turned into a business and stuff. And I'm like, that's most of the businesses here in Alaska.
Yeah, exactly, right?
And also for adoption agencies or foster, because it's cheaper rent. So they were told to wait in this room. They could hear this young little girl on the other side and another set of adults. Those were actually her first potential adopted parents who ended up giving her up. So the parents quickly left, and Michael and Kristen were finally able to meet their new daughter, Natalia Grace. She had brown hair, a beautiful smile, and she also had a rare form of dwarfism called, I practice this so much, spondylolisthesis.
Spondylitis?
Yes, thank you.
I've heard of that before.
Spondyphyseal.
It's with the spine.
Yeah, dysplasia. It has something to do with like her extremities, like the long bones in her arms and her legs are longer or shorter. I don't know. Yeah, but it's a type of dwarfism. So they were super excited to start this new journey, and before they headed back to Indiana, they were like, hey, we're in Florida, we should go to Disney World and to the beach, because we don't have that in Indiana.
Of course.
Yeah, so let's celebrate, this new adoption, Natalia, everything that's so wonderful in our lives. So during these few days, Natalia was either being carried everywhere or possibly in a stroller. I can't imagine holding a 6-year-old on my hip constantly, but
yeah,
I know that Kristen did hold her quite a bit because like she was so excited, new baby, our new kid. But so she was either being held or in a stroller, because it's so difficult for her to walk, let alone walk for a long period of time.
Right.
When they went to the beach, they were walking, down to where they were going to set up camp for the day. And the boys, they like looked into the water and they like took off. They're like, yeah, water. And Natalia's like, I want to go. And her parents were like, no, just wait. Like, let's put these chairs down. Let's set the chairs up and then we'll take you. And she's like, no, I want to go now. And then just like ran into the water.
Oh, okay.
And their parents were like, I thought she couldn't walk.
Yeah.
And so they're like, okay, that's weird. And during this trip, while at the hotel, Kristen was getting ready to give Natalia a bath for the first time. And that's when she discovered that Natalia had pubic hair.
Okay.
So later, it was also discovered, not during this trip, but like later on. Later, it was discovered that in her bedroom, Christine discovered that Kristen. Am I saying Christine or Kristen? I can't remember.
Is it K or C?
Well, that doesn't matter. I've seen it both ways.
Oh. So if a C is
I think
an
it's
H in it?
Kristen. I think it's Kristen. It's not Christine. So later, Kristen discovered in her bedroom that Natalia had hid soiled clothing that was possibly menstrual blood.
Oh.
On it.
Not normal for a 6-year-old.
Not normal. Correct. Not, what is it?
It's possible.
It's possible, not impossible.
But I feel like it'd be something that you would have mentioned at the
adoption. But it was a closed adoption. So.
Okay.
These were concerning flags for Michael and Kristen. They were like, okay, this girl is she actually 6 years old? Which I think is very narrow-minded in the sense, like, I mean, I guess you could question it, but at the same time, like, it is possible. The youngest girl to
I would question it.
But the youngest girl to ever have a child was 5 years old.
Yeah.
So it's not.
I would still question it though, because it's very unlikely.
It's weird, right?
And then also there could be a medical problem and it might not be a period.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Anyways, so let's move on. But they also started to notice all these little things after this because it is on their mind, right?
Right.
They noticed that Natalia's vocabulary is more advanced for children her age. She can easily carry a conversation on with adults. Which, I mean, let's be the devil's advocate. Alice is really good at carrying on a conversation with adults because she's constantly around adults.
Right.
But we don't know about the case for Natalia because they got her when she was 6.
Right.
But she also would play easily with other 6-year-olds her age. So it didn't matter who she was. If she was adult, she was more adult like. If she was with kids, she was more kid like.
Right. Hold on. Can I pause you for a second? I'm so sorry.
You're good.
She's gonna get up, and I don't want her to come down here and bug us. Hey, you can get up and play quietly in your room. Yes. You can play quietly in your room. Do not come down here and bug us. We are almost done, okay? And Dad will be home soon.
Where are you?
I'm downstairs in the playroom. We're doing the podcast. Do not come down here.
At Big Baby's house doing the podcast.
No, I'm at our house. You can turn on the light in there and play. You can play with your Barbies or something, okay? Or color. Do not come down here. I love you.
That was weird.
Yes, it was. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
I just knew she was going to... I didn't want her to come down here and come bug us.
I don't blame you.
All right.
So,
Could talk to 6-year-olds, could talk to adults.
Christine and Michael are very torn. They're like, what is going on with this new little girl? So Natalia would insist on sitting next to Ethan when they were in the car. Ethan was one of the other boys. And once everyone was inside the car and they were moving, she would urinate and defecate. And then she would try to smear it on Ethan.
Ew.
Could you imagine?
I would hate sitting by her.
No, Mom, I don't want to sit right here. Can I sit in the back, please?
Yeah.
No, sit right there.
It's terrible.
So Natalia would also narrow in on what was special to her brothers. Like one of them, like it was a car. The other one, like for Jacob, it was his homework that was special to him. And they would have to go and drop Jacob off at the university when he got a little bit older, or at camp or whatever he was doing. And so they would, like, if they're crossing the street, she would find like the homework or the car or whatever that is special to the boys. And once they were in the middle of in the middle of the crosswalk, she would drop the toy and like they would keep going, and the boys would realize that she dropped it after they crossed. And then cars would come
and they go back and get it because it's gonna get crushed.
Or they would try to run back into traffic
What
and
the
do
heck's
it.
wrong with this girl?
Yeah. So
I've seen movies about this kind of stuff.
I bet you have.
Sounds creepy.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like a movie that was like kind of like taking this as like a based on a story like this.
But Brie, this came out in 2013.
Holy cow!
This all happened in 2013. What year did they adopt her? 2000. They adopted her in 2008.
Oh my god.
So.
Okay. All right. Continue. She's mean. What?
I think I hear Rick's truck.
Josh isn't home yet.
He said he was going to be here at 4. I hope they're texting each other.
Yeah, that's what I would imagine. I don't hear. I think I hear the boiler.
Okay. So Michael and Christine reached out to the adoption agency and they're like, bro, what is going on with this child? Like, can you please give us some background? And the agency was like, nope, can't tell you anything. But you know what? I can't tell you what to do, but maybe you should look at her backpack that she came with closer.
What?
And they're like, that's weird. Okay.
What?
So they go into
What's in the backpack?
Yeah. So they go backpack.
What is going on?
So they go and they look in this backpack, and there is like a luggage tag of the previous adoptive parents' names on it. So they reach out to that family.
Okay, so they couldn't actually tell them,
Correct,
but they're like,
'cause it was
all
a
right,
close
so
adoption.
yeah.
And so they reach out to that family, and the mom's like, you know, I don't really want to get into a whole lot of it, but I felt like our biological son was in extreme danger. Hold on, I'm trying to our biological son was in extreme danger, and so we decided to bring her back to the adoption agency for his safety.
All right.
Apparently she was wrestling with that boy and hurt his arm, and
Ooh.
according to the parents, they felt like she did it on purpose and was trying to break his
Well, she
arm.
probably freaking did.
Yeah. So Michael and Christine, they worked with 3 separate therapists to get some sort of guidance and help. It wasn't until the 4th therapist who understood where the parents were coming from, and she told them, listen, you and your family are actually in extreme danger. Natalia is a sociopath, and what she is doing is in her control, and she has a plan.
What?
I know.
I just got goosebumps.
For a 6-year-old dude. So one night, Michael and Kristen, they were in bed, and Kristen nudged Michael awake and said, listen, like, I hear a noise. Like, go check on what this noise is. So Michael gets up and goes down the hall and sees Natalia standing there. And he says, what are you doing? And Natalia says, I'm waiting. He said, what are you waiting for, Natalia? And she said, for you to go to sleep.
What?
Yeah. So another night he woke up to Natalia standing there with a knife in her hand. And Michael asked her why she was there. And she said, I don't know. And Michael ended up, instructing her to go back to the bed. And
You know why that knife is in your hand.
I know. So he's like, go back to bed. He took the knife and he sat outside of her bedroom door the rest of the night.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah. So she also, Kristen would find knives under her mattress or under her pillow, and just very what's going on. Also, put your knives up where she can't get them. So
Also, I know we say don't murder, but anyway, continue.
okay. So another day while Kristen was cleaning the kitchen, Natalia asked if she could help. So Natalia, something I wanted to say before that was these situations are happening. It's not a daily occurrence, but it's still something that's happening that you can't stop thinking about, right?
Right.
So another day while Kristen was cleaning the kitchen, Natalia asked if she could help. Natalia started helping clean the kitchen because of course she said yes. Kristen left the room for a second, and when she came back, she caught Natalia putting Pledge into her mom's coffee, trying to poison her.
Also, that's a very obvious smell, Natalia. It's lemon.
But she was also cleaning the table.
Nice try,
Yeah.
Natalia.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to know if Pledge is inside my cup of coffee. And it's also foamy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh, Mom, I put a little cream in there for you. I whipped cream.
I spit in there. Made it sweeter.
So one of the brothers loved cows. It was one of his things. So for his birthday, they decided to take the family to a local dairy farm. They were on this tour, and they were walking on this trail, and about a quarter mile out onto this, out in the fields, Natalia was struggling with walking. So Kristen and her stayed behind. They needed to rest. Natalia needed to rest and stuff. So the boys and the dad went further ahead, and all of a sudden they heard Kristen screaming. They ran back, and they both Kristen and Natalia were on the ground, and Kristen was screaming that Natalia tried to drag her into the electric fence.
What the?
So because of Natalia's stature, I guess she used her arms a whole lot. She would use her arms to go up the stairs and things like that. So I guess
Did she walk on all fours?
No, she would walk, but her legs were weak, so I guess she would use her upper arm strength quite a bit.
Like an ape? That's all I'm picturing right now.
I
And it's
don't-
making it so much more freaky in my head.
I wouldn't say that, no, but according to the dad, she would do handstands, like, on her arms,
Right.
like what Charlotte does. So he says she had really strong upper body strength, but it wasn't like her arms were longer than her legs.
Right. Okay.
Someone's here.
Josh. I'm just waiting to see if the dogs are going to bark.
You're good. That's what I figured.
Oh, I did lock the door.
Good job, Brie.
Look at me learning from our stories. Are y'all not going to bark?
That's weird.
She's going to whine, though. Dakota, quiet. It's like my dad's home.
Dad.
She loves him so much. He's so mean to her. He's always so grumpy to her. Okay.
So cops and there's Rick. I bet now they bark. There it is.
Why didn't you just let them out? I texted you and told you they were.
I hope I parked in an okay spot.
Do you need me to bring your keys up there?
I parked behind your car. I don't.
Probably gonna need to move your car.
Do you need us to move vehicles? No? Hey, thanks for thinking of me. Josh? So mean! But also, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, I don't want all of that.
Go upstairs. Go. Okay, dear God, I need to hear this story more. I'm so
Okay,
sorry.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm gonna leave you on such a cliffhanger.
Dang it, it's a two-parter!
You know, depending on how much I actually include, it might be a 3-parter.
Son of a bitch. This is a really good story.
Okay, so cops and EMTs show up, and Christine insisted that Natalia be arrested.
Good.
And Christine even said, according to Michael, because
How old was she at this point?
she's still 6.
6.
So Christine said that Natalia was saying, "I'm going to kill you, you crazy bitch, you crazy bitch. I'm going to kill you, you crazy bitch. I'm going to kill you, bitch." So there was also, she was, but instead of that, she was taken to a mental hospital.
Yeah, she's
Makes sense.
6.
It makes sense.
Right.
So there she was allegedly very aggressive, not like aggressive in the way of like coming on to men.
Oh, okay.
There she
Like intimately aggressive.
intimately aggressive, correct, with the nurses there, I should say. Oh, hold on. I just jumped a whole paragraph. Okay. So there she was allegedly very aggressive, physically aggressive with the nurses. She ended up being transferred to the adult wing after it was discovered that she had gone through puberty.
Okay.
She would attempt to seduce the men, and there was mention of her doing sexual favors for them for money.
Oh my gosh.
Multiple nurses were interviewed, and they all believed that she was too mature for her age. The adults or the parents decided that it would be best to bring her home, even though they're like, do we keep her there? And she, is exploiting her body for money at the age of 6, or do we bring her home and endanger our family?
Sorry, they are good people.
Yes. So,
But also, like, I wouldn't do that. I'd be like, sorry. You tried to kill me. The field's even now.
So everyone is back home and things are intense, right?
Yeah.
And one day Christine decided she wanted a list of all the people that Natalia had lived with in the United States, because supposedly there was up to 30 people.
Jeez, 30?
Like 30 different foster families.
Oh my God.
Natalia refused to write anything down. So as punishment, Christine said, you do not get a room. You get no bed. You get to sleep outside on the deck.
Fair.
So the neighbors ended up calling the police for a welfare check because they heard Natalia crying. While there, the police realized that this was not a child.
What
was
made you
like-
think that?
This is not a child. Wait. Oh, okay. Let me start over. So the neighbors ended up calling the police and for a welfare check. And while there, the police realized that, you know what, this is not a welfare check for this child. That this is a welfare check, and I'm here to protect this family.
Right.
And here's a card. You need to call a therapist because this is not a child.
Okay.
That's
No,
it.
not.
That's the end of my story today.
I've been left with 2 freaking cliffhangers today.
I'm sorry.
It's like, what is that? Like, where you get
Blue
stressed
balls?
out because there's like things that aren't finished. Like, dude, did you finish it all yet?
No.
You.
Why, you want to know?
Yes. I'm not gonna look it up. I won't, because I
Don't
want to
look
be
it up.
just
It
a
will-
surprise.
yeah.
It sounds kind of familiar, but at the same time, like, it sounds like 1,000 movies that I've seen.
Does it sound like the movie The Orphan?
Yes, it does. That's what it's based off of? Okay.
No.
Kind of?
No.
No.
The Orphan came out.
It also kind of sounds like that combined with The Visit with the grandparents, except it was the grandparents that were where they weren't actually the kids.
I think you told me to watch that.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did you watch it?
I feel like I did.
It was like a Paranormal Activity type of thing where
Yeah.
they did like a documentary. It was the kid and his sister like filming their visit with their grandparents they'd never met before, and the mom sent them on the train to go visit their grandparents.
Yeah.
And they went to the wrong people, and she was like, they were like had like a what is it called, midnight something, where they like run around at midnight and go crazy. They had like serious dementia, and they like would spread their poop everywhere and like run around the house naked. And then like at the very end, the mother's like, "That's not your grandparents," and you're like in the theater's like, "Holy shit, what just happened? Get out of there!"
Also makes me think of Get Out
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yes. But also like it had like its moments where it was kind of funny. Like in the end, like the grandpa had dementia and he tried to smear a poopy diaper in the kid's face, and he was like, "No,
Oh
no."
my gosh.
Oh man. Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
god.
I know.
Oh.
I almost
I was so
did-
mad about Sabrina earlier. Now you just like made me more mad. I'm mad at you now.
Did like another. I almost stopped at another spot, but I was like, let's just stop at the point where they're like, this is definitely not like
Yeah. No.
not just the parents now. Now that a police officer is like, she's not a child either.
No. This is literally like stopping in an episode of a TV show where they're like, wait for next week's episode to find out what happens.
The Orphan, I think, came out in 2008.
Okay.
And this, I believe, because I looked it up last night because Rick was asking me. And then this story happened, they adopted her in 2008.
Oh my god. I can't wait to tell Josh all this later.
Do you want my papers?
We're just gonna read it to him.
All right, tell me your neighborhood story.
Alrighty, my neighborhood story. Hang on, I have it ready, but I'm trying to figure out which one I want because I looked up a bunch of posts. I found which one was there. It is. Okay. All right. So this isn't like really a neighborhood. This is kind of like a neighborhood post, but like in marketplace.
Okay.
This is a marketplace thing.
I love it.
$350
Okay.
for a casket. Get this. It has never been used.
No way.
But there are a few dings and scratches. That's all.
Oh.
Just a giant casket for sale. Just a random thing to sell.
Maybe. Okay.
Why
I
do you
have
a casket.
Maybe it was like one of those things like buy 2, get 1 free.
That is a sick deal. Like sick-minded.
Like cool.
But also like sick, like caskets are expensive.
They are
So if you have a
expensive.
buy 2 get 1 or buy 1 get 1 free thing,
And then like
go buy your caskets, guys, because apparently like planning for funerals is like a lot.
Yeah, my mom was like cremate me, like I don't like.
Same.
Yeah, she's like it's cheaper.
Also like the ground, being buried underground freaks me out even if I'm dead.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't know, being buried alive.
Well, you won't be alive if you're getting buried.
Yeah, but what if I am? There have been people that have been buried
Okay,
alive.
I understand that, but what's worse, being buried alive or going into a chamber?
I'm already almost dead anyway, so I might as well be burnt. And then, like Rick said, you don't feel it, so.
Because he's done it before. He's like giving you how to die
"Look,
tips.
This is what happened. Oh my God, we need to stop. Okay. Anyway.
Getting way too dark.
All right, guys. We are sponsored by
BetterHelp. Need to go to my therapy after this.
Yes.
Also, sign up for BetterHelp because you need to be in therapy.
Yeah, it's good for you.
It's good for you. And if you're going to buy anything from Walmart, use our link from our Facebook or our web page.
Yeah, it's in our website. What's the neighbors.com/promotions.
Yeah.
We have a lot of promotions, guys. We've got like Zazzle, Walmart, plant therapy, which I love plant therapy.
Yeah, plant therapy.
And quite a few other ones.
Shout out to Red Photography, actually. She's not one of our promotions right now, but
We do like to talk her up.
We do, because
And she did our pictures.
She did our pictures, and she just did Alice's pictures, and every year I'm like, there's no way it can get better, and it does. Like, I don't know how she does it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to like fly her down to
Yeah.
wherever we're at, because I don't.
visit us. We are traveling photographer.
Yeah.
She'd probably love that.
Oh, she'd probably love that. Yeah.
And she's in Fairbanks. So if you're local, check
Yeah.
her out.
Use Red Photography because she's the bomb.com.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, bye. Have you checked on your neighbors?
What's with the neighbors?
Bring Amy out. Psh. Santa counts for us.
Meow. Don't get dead. Look, you did it right this episode. It's been like 3 episodes because you've been like so stressed.